To study the frequency response of an active low pass filter, I am using this particular kit. This is the IC here, 741. In my kit, this is the IC I have mounted here. This is powered by connecting pin number 7 to plus 12 volts. In a similar way, the pin number 4 is connected to minus 12 volts. The input from the signal generator is fed to the ground and the input here. This is the ground which is taken here. This is the ground. The output is measured with respect to ground to this point 6. This is the point, pin number 6 of the IC. To measure the input and output, we use the multimeter in AC voltage mode. The input is measured between the ground and this point. The output is measured between the ground and the pin number 6 here. Now, I will try to explain how to perform the experiment. Now, I have set the input frequency as 100 Hz here. The input voltage is set to be 1 volt and the output voltage with respect to ground from point 6 is taken to be read to be 3.2. The negative terminal is fixed at the ground throughout the experiment. Now we have set the input frequency as 200 Hz and the input voltage remains to be 1 volt. Every time we set the frequency, we have to check the input across this point and the ground. Now the output is measured with respect to ground at point number 6 and that turns out to be 3.2. Now I have set the input frequency as 1 kHz. Now let us check the input voltage. The output voltage for this frequency turns out to be 2.296. Now I have set the input frequency as 5 kHz. Ensure that the input signal voltage to be 1 volt. Now let us try to measure the output voltage with respect to ground for the point number 6 and that turns out to be 0.67. For a series of frequencies, that is from lower frequency to higher frequency, the input as well as the output has to be recorded and it has to be tabulated in this particular tabular column as shown here. For each frequencies, the input voltage as well as output voltage, the ratio of it which gives the voltage gain has to be calculated and it has to be tabulated as shown like this. Now let us try to plot the graph by taking the gain along y-axis and the frequency along x-axis. If I plot the graph looks like this. This is the maximum voltage gain. If you take the ratio of maximum voltage gain with respect to root 2, we get the point here. So with this point, if we draw a line parallel to x-axis, it cuts the curve at this point. A perpendicular from this point to the x-axis should give us the experimental value of the cutoff frequency, which is compared with the designed value of the cutoff frequency. If the experimental value of the cutoff frequency obtained from the graph matches with the designed value of the cutoff frequency, then we have completed the experiment successfully using IC 741 op amp in active low pass filter.